Hello. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Yay.
So it is your show. So you are here to interview me today. This is the Carnegie Hall Afrofuturism Festival, and I'm just getting this little clerical work out of the way. This is at the Children's Arts Carnival today. This is the first totally live broadcast for this thing, and I believe we're broadcasting to Facebook and YouTube. And I am the guest of.
I'm Isis Asare. I'm CEO and founder of Sistah Sci-Fi. So we're really happy to have Tim here and to talk about Maddie's Rocket and Infinitum and all the cool stuff in the Carnegie Mellon celebration of Afrofuturism that's happening for the month of February and March. I should know this but yeah. So yeah, I'm jazzed, and you're like so energized. I'm like,
It's because it's the caffeine. It's the caffeine. It's the little chocolate pebbles that are mixed with caffeine. That's what does it. I find it's very effective narcotic without like the edge takes the edge off. But anyway, enough about that. So are we gonna? Do you want to try Instagram now?
yes, we're gonna try. We're gonna see how this works.
We're gonna see how this works
And if it,
because
yes, so I am going
okay,
live.
okay, guys, this is going. If this works, both Isis and myself will have moved into the 21st century.
This is like the 22nd century at very
22nd
least.
century. Okay, I'll take that. All right, let's see if
Yeah,
we come up
we're
here.
moving into the future.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, there it is. And we got somebody else. I'm looking for Sister Sci-Fi. My eyes are horrible here. Are you on?
I'm on.
All right.
Oh no, I
I'm
don't
going
hear
to.
any echo.
There it is. Hey, whoa! Now I am going to ask. Okay. Yes, I can see you. I'm a request to join. I'm going to send the request. Is this going to work?
We will see in a second.
Wow, this is so crazy.
This is like I've never done
This
it
is
this way before.
crazy.
So this is like really, oops,
Oh my God, I'm connecting. Can you see me?
I can.
All right, so let me turn my volume down here. All right, can you hear me now?
I can still hear you.
Okay, so it looks like I'm just a slight echo like okay, so can you hear me?
I can still hear you.
Okay, good. So in that case, I guess we'll start talking. If there's no echo, guess what? We are super duper dope. It's
Yeah,
crazy, right?
this is so great. I don't know if this is gonna work, Tim, but you are right. It actually, it's working.
And you know what, Isis? I had no idea if it would work.
I was like, and you were like, we're gonna do that. I was like, really?
Yeah.
I
See, I
was so
can hear you
confused.
here with
And
my
you sound
trusty
like
Apple.
Albert. I was like, so confused. And I was
Right,
like, we're gonna
right,
do
right.
StreamYard. Well, I don't. So
Wow.
thank
So I
you.
see Blurty Womanist,
Yes.
Lewis
Oh, hey, Blurry
667.
Womanist.
Hey, how you doing, Blurty Womanist?
Hey, Erica
Yeah,
just
what's
joined.
up?
Erica from
Ah,
Tabloids. Hey, Erica.
oh my goodness. And then on our wow, wow. Okay, let me just go here. We're all good. We're gonna go back to StreamYard. It's all good. And wow, is I think we're good.
Yeah, and if you want, like, I would, if you're like, if we ever want to, Erica's usually good for a prompt to come on stage, and I love like the way Erica,
Erica's always good for the
right?
impromptu.
So
Come on
Erica's
stage.
there.
Come
So
on.
if we want to like invite Erica on stage, I think she'll be down.
Okay, so Erica Hardison, the
Yes, yes.
Fabulize. At one point it's by Logan, and then she started changing to all this other stuff. So I get confused sometimes because I'm a little bit older. That's what happened when you start losing hair like that, right? But at any rate, we are here, and I am your guest. You have come into. Oh, by the way, we're here at the Black Metropolis Afrofuturism, visual Afrofuturism show, 30 years of my career, and we'll get around to that. But I cede the floor to you. Isis, go for it.
Thank you so much. One, I'm super excited for all the streaming, all the technology. Usually I'm like the one like, let's do this and let's do this. So you pulled me into like into the future. I'm really, really, really excited about that. So let's my two-line introduction. And let's like um Tim Filter, OG Afrofuturist. If you want me to use some other term, I'll stop
We
and
can
we'll
go
talk
into
about
why that term came up, but keep going.
we'll talk about your career and your graphic novel Maddie's Rocket and Infinitum, and then also like the Carnegie Mellon, the Carnegie Hall's celebration of Afrofuturism. So Maddie's Rocket represents a reclamation of new and classic storylines for Black folks. This story is straight up fun. So that's not my quote. That's a quote from Steph Curry. So like, oh yeah, I took this from yeah.
I'm trying to add drama. I'm trying
Oh
to,
no, I'm here for
so
it.
what you're doing, I'm like on the side at the height, right? But go ahead.
I'm here for it. I'm 100% here for it. So Steph Curry enjoys it and recommends it. Um, so we're here for that. So yeah, so let's start there. So this is a republish of Maddie's Rocket. How did that come about? Are you excited? Tell like how did it end up in the Carnegie Hall exhibit? All those good stuff.
Okay, so first of all, that's a very leading question. You should have gone into law. Very good. Uh, I well, Maddie's Rocket was a self-published thing. Was self-published back in. Oh, that's not true. Maddie's Rocket was a concept from the 90s. See, that's when you know I'm losing my memory, right? So Maddie's Rocket, and I'll go over here to the side here,
Yes.
right there in the corner there, right? Maddie's Rocket goes back to like 1996, 97. And at the time, I had just gotten through some really interesting periods when I was doing a lot of comics that were influenced by funk, like by music, right? And
Mm.
I'll go into that as well. But I decided I want to do something about this kick butt Black woman who's shooting people with these long coats, right? But in like Fritz Lang's Metropolis, but with the Black people they left out of the original Metropolis, right? So I did that as a comic. And at the time, believe it or not, it was called If God Was a Woman, which I know is,
Oh.
yeah. But somebody said it was too close to a novel, a book that had a similar name. I said, okay. But the comic book industry kind of crashed. And then I went into animation. I raised my kids who are not all in their 20s, thank God. And in 2009, I went back to NYU to do more educational work. And I resurrected that concept and I called it Maddie's Rocket. Now, when I first did it, it was as an animation, which maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll show you guys some stuff there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on
that'd
my
be cool.
computer. It's because, we can share the screen and everything. It's
Right.
incredible. This
Because we're like
technology, it's like,
particularly on Instagram.
whoa,
I'm like, ah. So
whoa.
but now we can share stuff. Wait, so when you okay, so I'll have a follow-up question on where the animation lives and all that kind of stuff. But so you revisited 2009 as an animation.
Yeah, and then I was working on it. I must have done like 20 and 30 minutes worth of, as I said the other day, well designed but poorly executed animation. And I ended up running, was invited by Deirdre Hallman and Jerry Kraft, who are both wonderful folks who had started, along with John Jennings and Jonathan Gales, the Schaumburg Black Comic Book Festival. Because Jerry had done it the year prior at Human Bookstore. I don't know if anybody remembers
Oh,
Human. Yeah, and then that turned into the Schaumburg thing, and I think it's been 10 years now. So the first 2 years I was there as an animator, and as I was there as an animator, suddenly I was like, man, wow, comics are still going, right? It was still going because I had gotten out in the late 90s, early 2000 when I went into the video game industry. And next thing you know, John Jennings and Stacey Blackstyle Robinson, who I'm expecting to start harassing me at any moment, decided to come over my house, and they looked at my portfolio. And the first thing Stacey said, I never forget it, ran a chill up my spine. He said, the first thing, this work needs to be published. And I went, damn, because I knew that, how can I say, when someone says to you, as soon as they say it, you've been trying to avoid it.
mm,
But as soon as they say it, it's the reality. You have to
right.
do it. And within 2 days, I began the process of retooling everything. And I kept the widescreen aspect ratio, which is why there are 3 panels a page on Maddie's Rocket. And next thing you know, that was 2014. And by January of 2015, this came out, a floppy, Maddie's Rocket.
Yes.
And the thing that's very cool about this is that is Nichelle Nichols' autograph.
Oh,
She
how cool
autographed
is
this.
that?
Yeah, that's a collector's item. And I did 2 issues that were both floppies. And for those people who are interested in self-publishing, I publish these through Ingram, right? Which is
Okay, Ingram
interesting.
Spark to be
Ingram's, well, I actually, I had to go old school, Ingram Lightning Source.
okay.
Right. So I did that, but they're great. They do great work. And then I started getting frustrated because I was very, very impatient. Anyone knows me. I published this in my apartment.
Oh, wow. But
Yes,
this is still 2014.
No, by this point, well, it was 2015. I published one. 2016, I published number 2. 2017, I was going to publish number 3, but I skipped over that, put 3 and added more pages. And now it came out to be a graphic novel. And all this was published in my house.
Like, what does that mean in your house? Like on a big printer?
I
Like,
had a big printer. Yes. I had a big printer, which they had to use what's called a claw to climb up the stairs to bring it in because it was all, how should I say? It was all, I'm trying to look at both. So look here and look there. That's crazy, right?
right.
Hey.
So Erica's said a lot. Erica's responded, you printed it in your apartment with your own printing press.
Yes.
Bringing it up into your apartment with a claw, which I'm on it. I live in a 3rd floor walk up, and whenever people bring
this was a 4th floor walk up.
So yes, I understand. Like you understand my pain.
Yeah, yes.
So I never thought to bring a printer into my apartment. So yeah, you did that.
It was a 600-pound printer, which they got up the stairs. Well, 400-pound printer, and it sat there, and I taught myself how to print my book. And the only thing I couldn't do was the binding.
Okay.
I had to go to this very nice guy who lives in Long Island, who runs a binding, a quick A binding, I believe it's called, and he did it. And I will never forget. And this is going to sound so weird. I had, those little push carts you can buy from the grocery store. I had all my books, all the guts, the loose paper in boxes, and I was pushing it through the snow.
Through the snow? That's a real labor of love.
There was also a graveyard. So I did that. That's how I was like, I don't care how tired I am, because I had to ride the Metro North all the way out to Long Island.
So you got Metro North, they're like probably 125th ticket to Long Island.
Yes, I took it to Long Island, and then I got out and pushed it through a graveyard filled with snow, and I got there, and within 2 days, got bounded all my books. Now I could only make about 600 at the time, right? Not because I couldn't have made them, it's just because the printer can only print so much.
Right.
And I sold them on the street. I sold them at cons. Literally on the street, I would go in front of the Apollo Theater, which is totally legal, by the way, if you're selling periodicals and art.
I did not. I didn't know that. I mean,
you don't need
it makes sense about like when I was in New York, I used to walk up and down 125th Street like at least 3 times a day. Like, so it makes sense. Yes.
Exactly. So what I used to do is I would get the people as they came off the bus in front of the Apollo.
Oh.
And then, so check it out for those folks who are, and I've said this to a few people, but let me give a tip for people who are not just comic book people, but, people who make their own books. It is legal, from my understanding, to sell periodicals and art on the street without a vendor's license. Right now, you have to double check that. And of course, you can always be harassed. And please, for the authorities, I'm just trying to build more culture. I'm not trying to cause no problems. Right now, if you are serious about it, think about it. How many people live in this city?
Yeah, in New York, it's like
9 million.
Yeah.
Right. And you could expect, even in COVID land, hundreds of thousands of people pass in front of any building on 125th Street. If you set up a table, you get out early and you get, snuggle up because it's a little cold. If you sell 5 copies a day, right, at $20, and do the math times 7 days, but then do that math times 4 weeks.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That there are people. That's why people are out there now, because they send their kids to college doing that.
Right. On that.
So
That.
so I did it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I guess my next, like, what's coming up? What was the reception? Were people like Maddie's Rocket bet? Like, they were just like in it. Like,
It was interesting because I think I was certainly, I was in the indie comic book industry, the black indie comic book industry. I think I was fairly well respected, by my peers. I'm a little weird, so I'm weird Tim in the corner. Yeah, I know that. I know I'm self-aware enough to know that I'm weird Tim in the corner, right? But I've been doing the whole visual Afrofuturism thing since I was 12. And then right now, at this time of this recording or talk, I'm 55. So I've been doing this for a long time. And so it was interesting, very liberating to come back to comics in 2014. I'd done Alex Simmons' book, Blackjack. And so it was interesting to come back to all this. And the reception to Maddie's Rocket was twofold. On one end, people loved seeing a book that was aspirational, uplifting. I'm always trying to be humble. Leave me alone.
right. I was like, I was
Anyway,
about to bring that out there.
I'm always trying to be humble. What are you trying to say? See, this is what I'm talking about. We're trying to have a respectable conversation here, and here she is interfering.
You trying to keep it honest.
You trying to keep it. Don't just stay where you are. See what I'm talking about? Anyway, Blackjack is awesome. You are correct, Erica. So anyway, I did my work. The comic was very well received. I was on a book tour. Thank God for buddy passes, right? And I was traveling from one part of the country to the next, and I was getting very low on my stash. I came back to New York, and I had a conversation with my wife, and I was like, this indie thing, this is what I'm gonna do, because no one's gonna give me a book deal. No one does that. She says, yes, they will. And I was like, no. She said, have you tried? And I went, what is she telling me? I'm the one out here slinging these books. What is she talking about? And Melanie just said, have you tried? Mm-hmm. And after 30 minutes of me being the stubborn husband, I went, well, I hadn't really tried. And that was in March of 2018. And by the time the second iteration of this show went up at the Hammonds House Museum in Atlanta, Georgia, at the end of that run in November of 2018, I entered into negotiations with Harper Collins for this guy.
Yes, I got my copy. Can I reach it? Yes. I have my copy.
Yep.
I was like, where are my notes? I have a couple copies.
Okay. And that is what happened.
The copy with all my notes from our last.
Oh my goodness! So, are you gonna grill me today?
No. You've already asked all the questions.
Oh,
so, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I'm not prepared. Anyway, so
yeah,
anyway,
you don't have to worry about that today.
Yes. So that is what happened. I had to spend about 18 months in total doing the book, and this was, I guess, in November of 2019. We'd finalized the contract earlier in the year of 2019. And, I finished that, and Infinitum came out in January 19th, 2021, right in the smack dab in the middle of COVID. And then I did what I'm doing now. I've done over 120 talks and events over the course of 2021. And now we're in February, and I've done so many talks. But guess what? That's the job.
And I mean, I guess like, so I think it's Jadine gives you all the hearts. So that's awesome.
Oh, thank you, Jadine. That was a lot of hearts. How many you got? 1, 2, 3.
So the first question is, so like being in person and vending versus doing virtual events and pressing, which do you prefer? Which feels more effective to you, as like for any indie authors out there?
Repeat the question one more time so I can make sure.
Mm.
Which one feels more?
Which one do you like more, and which one feels more effective?
Oh my God, you're the first person to ever asked me that.
Oh, I think I ask myself that question all the time, so that's could be why I
Wow.
asked.
Well, well, damn, Isis. Whoa. Okay, so I did not expect that. I'm almost choked up. So like, damn, I gotta answer that. So, wow. I prefer the independence of I prefer the independence of being an independent.
Mm,
I prefer the access to mainstream resources
mm,
with having a publishing deal. You
mm.
know, I cannot go into finances or anything like that because I'm restricted from doing that. But I did okay. It allowed me to finish the new variant of Maddie's Rocket, which is part of Steph Curry's literati book club called Underrated, which maybe I'm underrated. You know, that's okay. If Steph Curry's underrated, I can be underrated too. And he picked it for, I was so grateful that he picked it for the February 2022 festival, coinciding with the Carnegie Hall Afrofuturism Festival,
Right.
which I assumed I was going to, and I'm going to get to your question. I assumed I was going to get a deal, but I ended up self-publishing it. And because look, Erica Hardison. Can I take 30 seconds to speak about this woman?
Yes,
Erica
please.
Hardison is like, she called me. I was riding through a wheat field. It's like Children of the Corn in Minnesota, right? And so my wife is up in the front seat with her friend Greg, and she's doing a theater program for the summer. And I'm in the back. I get a phone call. Hey, Dad, how's it going? I was like, hey, what's up, Erica? How you doing, dude? She said, there's a chance that Steph Curry is looking for a book. So we tried for months to do Infinitum. But Steph liked Maddie's Rocket. I was like, well, it's self-published, don't you want mainstream? But he liked Maddie's Rocket. And, after a while, stop fighting against what the universe is sending you.
Right.
And I did want a book out, a new book. And, I wanted Maddie to get some attention during the festival. Because let's be frank, this Carnegie Festival, is the mainstreaming of Afrofuturism. That's why when you were so gracious to interview me, and I know I'm talking a lot, but it meant a lot because it meant that we're all part of the same Afrofuturist ecosystem. Does that make sense?
100%.
Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You did. So like you like the independence, sound like you like the direct channel. It worked well with Maddie's Rocket, but being with a mainstream publisher gave you a lot of access. And I think that's oftentimes the balance, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And also like I say this a lot. I think there's a special place in heaven for Black creatives. So I'm just excited that you do your work.
Thank you.
I really loved Infinitum, and like I watched the trailer and then I read it and I was like, I related to it on like so many additional levels than like,
wow.
Like yes, it's Afrofuturism and yes, there's time travel and yet like, so yeah, I appreciate it. I can't wait to read Maddie's Rocket.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So just no pressure, just a gentle request. So yeah. And I love the way the roles that family have in your book, the roles that women have in your book, like self-determination, awareness, evolution, going back to like very traditional African culture, projecting that into just all those things. The references to Nalo Hopkinson, we talked about that a lot last time. So yeah,
I love
I appreciate
Nalo Hopkinson is amazing.
So I'm glad we connect, and I really appreciate like just your engagement and showing up, right? So
trying to show up.
Like no, don't. yes, I hear you, and don't do that. Like, don't
Okay.
dismiss your effort. Like, you really for like a relative, no, for like a new bookstore that's only online. Like for Sister Sci-Fi, you really showed up, so I appreciate that.
Hold on, wait. So she gonna bust me line, let me bust her. So Isis, I won't go into what happened, but that was a customer service issue, right? And Isis reached out to me. She could have totally blasted me. I won't go into what happened, but Isis could have totally blasted me, and she didn't. She didn't. But the reason why she was coming to me was because she was concerned about her customer experience, which, look, anybody knows me. I mean, I'm not a drug dealer, but I can slang on the corner when it comes to my books because I can slang. I mean, I'm totally humiliated, totally embarrassed when I'm selling because I'm like, oh God, it's so embarrassing to sell these books. But when I get into it, I'm like a Muslim selling bean pies. I don't care. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Tim Fielder, Black Comic Book, Mattis Rocket, take the cast of Stormy Weather, put them inside of Metropolis, $20. I'll sign it for you. I'll draw you a picture here. I just do it over and over again because that's the way I believe that when you're an author in this age, because we're in the middle of a content war, like literally what we're doing here, we have 3 streams of content. We have an Instagram channel, your channel, and me freakishly, a YouTube and a Facebook channel. I'm like, oh God, what is going on? So this stuff is competing with Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's competing with Amazon. It's competing with NBC, CBS, CNN. It's competing with TikTok. So that content war is a war for attention. And it's kind of like the afrofuturist community, which I'm a part of, you're a part of. It's just nice to know that it all coalesces around this one path. As imperfect and human as we are, and again, I have to thank you for agreeing to appear with me. I just thank you so much. It really means a lot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it is a community. We have to show up, and like I appreciate people that understand. Like I'm human and I'm fallible, and sometimes I drop the ball, so I get it. And ultimately, like we just want to protect the experience of the whole community and make sure we're held in safe space. I
Absolutely,
just want to drop in Erica's comment. Like Erica also shows a part. There would not be a Sister Sci-Fi graphic novel club without Erica. So I just got to be honest about that. Erica does a lot of work in curation. So I got your email, but Erica was also like, this is a book. So like she helps me stay educated because graphic novels was actually a really new space for me before when I started Sister Sci-Fi. I was like, it's a lot of stimulation between like reading the words and looking at the pictures and like the story that the pictures are telling me. So she's helped a lot with that. So yeah.
Yeah, Erica Hardison is a godsend, and she's been working very hard. I hope this is appropriate for me to say for the company that she's working with. You have to give me clearance if I can name the company, Erica. But she's been great at finding and supporting other indie authors that are both graphic novelists and prose writers. And Erica's, I know right now she feels like sometimes she's not as appreciated. But she is greatly appreciated, and I think years from now, within the near future, she will be able to look back and see the people who she had given kind of entry into that. She really has been appointed a gatekeeper, if you will,
Right.
And it's incredible the work that she does. I bust you, Erica.
And her magazine is dope as AF. Okay. So let's go back to like, I tend to ask this question. How did the whole HarperCollins contract come about? Were they like, did you like mail a book off somewhere? Did you
that part I
can,
yeah.
And whatever you feel comfortable in saying.
Yeah, well, I can't go too deeply into that because I would just say that I did not approach them. Someone took me to them. Okay. And I will leave it at that. But it was this, I've said this before and I'll say it again. When you finish stuff, when you finish anything, it activates opportunity. Because it's finished. People go, oh, this is finished. right? And then
Yes.
when they see this, they say, "Oh, this can do another book." So now, literally, the book is at the printer being delivered to literati customers, and I should be getting a few copies myself very soon. I got to make some adjustments on a new thing, and of course, the copies you want for your members. Oh, by the way, I will be providing book plates for those folks when they get in. So give me a little bit. I'm an independent publisher. Work with me. Give me like a week.
Yeah, I know. I totally understand. People are
Right,
like,
right,
what
right.
happened? I was like, you
It's
see, more
the
brain is in
supply
there.
chain. That thing is real. That thing is real. So there we oh yeah, and yeah, of course you need to hear, but you need to be telling that to yourself when you
Mhm.
asleep, Erica. But then again, sure, like, nah, don't worry about that. Come over here and deal with me instead. Anyway, but yeah, so but that's what happened. I would, it's such a weird time, Isis. It's because I've got more attention for my career than any point in my entire career. Like now,
Mm.
TV appearances, and I was just on the Black and Brown podcast yesterday, which comes on later on this week. So it's weird. Vice magazine comes
Ooh.
this week. So it's a lot of different things that are happening. Like, oh my God, what. So my job, well, first of all, I'll admit, if this had happened when I was in my 20s or 30s, I would have totally screwed it up because there's no way I would have been able to deal with the attention. But now as an older dude, you know, I'm not gonna go out, hey, it's 6 o'clock, let's go run the streets. Now I'm like, hey man, I need to go take a nap. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Because I'm old, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna go out and like, yo, man, let's run the streets, let's go clubbing. I was never a clubber anyway, but I just need to go to sleep, man. I gotta take a nap, right? But yeah, so what's happening is a lot of as this new, I would call it a new wave because a lot of the practitioners of Afrofuturism, whether they be in the scholarly realm, like all of the curators for the festival, Cherie Renee Thomas,
Yes.
Cherie, Yatasha, Ronaldo, Lewis, King Britt, all those guys are with this festival kind of, they're those pillars of the practice. And this is different than say the first really large mainstream thing, which was mostly primarily connected to the Black Panther movie and maybe Janelle Monáe. This is where it's system wide. You have people in education, you have people in publishing, you have people in film, you have people in comics, you have people in dance. There are theatrical things. There's a lot going on. There's a play going on with the educational wing of Carnegie Hall, which for some reason I ended up doing the animation for it. And there'll be poetry
Mm.
slams with Cherie put all that together. I think, if I'm not mistaken, some kind of poetry performance. I'm part of the film festival section, which there's another film festival section over there because I have an identical twin brother named Jim who did a film called Flow. It took
Oh
him
wait,
12.
this is for real. This is not a joke. You
No,
have
he
a
finished. It took
oh,
him
because I
12
was
years.
like, is Tim playing? Because you're like, I'm Tim. I got an identical twin named Jim, and I was like, wait, is he?
My name is Tim Fielder. His name is Jim Fielder.
Okay, okay,
And
I'm here now.
he directed a feature-length horror film called Flow, which premiered last week in the Carnegie Hall Afrofuturism Festival film section at New York Film Academy. And now next week, there are going to be some episodes of the Diesel Funk Show, which we both do together, where I draw people and stuff. And then on March 9th, Black Metropolis, which is the film documentary variant of my show and my career, which will be premiering. That will be feature length. So I'm now a film producer. I've always been a film producer, but now I'm visible in public
Right,
and stuff. So
like
it's a
you're
lot of stuff
curating
going on.
stuff. Um, I'm so because now I'm trying to look for Flow, the horror movie, because I can't
Go
stop
to
Googling
studiovisceral.com.
Studio
Or
Vis.
as a matter of fact, I can share my, let's see here, share a screen. I'm going to share my
Yes.
screen and we're going to see what
So
happens here.
you folks out there in IG land, you won't be able to see the share screen, but you'll see my reactions to it,
Okay.
which is not the
Well, we're going to
same.
see. We're going to see. We're going to see
It's
how it works out. I'm gonna share that. I don't know if it's gonna double up anything, but we're not gonna worry about that for right
Ooh, wow,
now.
this is like um Erica, I don't it's
We're gonna go here. Can you
HPHR.
guys see that?
Yes. It's doing a
Okay.
weird tunnel thing.
Yes, but can you now see the screen?
On Instagram? No. We see
No,
you.
don't worry. I got you covered on Instagram. I got
Okay.
you covered. I got you covered. Let's see here. How we flipped. Ah, there we go. Ah, there you
Oh,
go. Yeah, I'm not gonna leave you hanging, girl. Anyway,
wow. Okay.
yeah, all right. So here we go.
Oh,
So what
yeah,
we're
y'all
gonna
actually are identical. You're
Yeah,
like, yeah,
we're
of course we're
identical
identical
twins.
twins.
Yeah, we're identical twins. Hold on. Where we go here? So we got there. So all these things are going on. So much stuff going on here. And by the way, I'm going to take a moment to show you a little stuff from Maddie's Rocket. Is that okay?
Okay. Yes,
All right.
I was
I know it's a
that's the
little
question
weird
I
to
had
show
on
you all
my
this.
like I want to see previews of Maddie's Rocket.
Okay, all right. So here we go. So we're going to go to Maddie's Rocket, the graphic novel thingy here. And these are all the work files I have here. And now we're going to go to, come on, baby, let's find this. There we go. We're going to go to book one revised here. All right, can you see that?
Can you angle the TV down on the
Oh, there we go.
camera?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm
that's
sorry.
perfect.
Okay, great. So this is Maddie's Rocket.
Yes.
And so these are all the different things. And I had to go through all this process to relay this book out. And I'm so grateful with it that what I had done. In this particular case, I wanted to, you ever seen the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman?
Yes.
Cicely Tyson. I wanted to
Mhm.
do a homage to that, but also I wanted to do a homage to the world I grew up in, which was
Mm.
literally I grew up across the street from a cotton field.
Wow.
The house I lived in was actually had a bell in a tower on it.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
until my brother's mother-in-law actually had us start to paint the bell white, if that could be believed. And then the Mississippi Historical Society came and took the bell. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to do something that was influenced by Bessie Coleman and
Mm-hmm.
Harriet Tubman, and I wanted to show a woman that kind of looked like you, believe it or not, Isis, with those extra lenses you got on there. But here she's riding a flying hoverbike. Yes, it's Southern Erica. See, she
Southern.
interfering again, Isis. She interfering again. I don't know why she got to do that. I'm talking. See, this is terrible. Anyway, but yeah, no, she is correct. It is Southern, and I wanted to do something that would have heart and pay homage to Ruby Young and A.V. Hughes and Helen Lott, who
Mm.
were all my grandmothers and my godmother, but she's named after Maddie Waddy, whose middle name was Walking Stick, because he was a
Oh.
native. Maddie Walking Stick Waddy. And I wanted to do something that was both a homage to Buck Rogers and Flash Gordon serials, but also to things like Wizard of Oz, but a lot of comics that didn't appear when my parents were in their 30s. I wanted to show that. And that's what this is. And also, I wanted modern audiences to feel the homage to anime and things like that. That was very important. But you see that title there, that sequence where it goes like that.
Yes.
I almost did not keep that when I first moved Maddie over to and from animation to comics because it was designed to be a silent animation,
Mm.
right? But then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna keep that. So I use that technique as a word caption. So when people speak sometimes directly to each other, it
It's
looks
right
like
there. Yeah,
right,
and I love it
exactly.
because it gives you that silent movie feel, which makes sense because it was supposed to be
Exactly.
a silent animation. Um,
Exactly.
and I mean, when you read the graphic novel, it's quiet, right? So it makes perfect sense.
Exactly. So that's what I wanted to do. So I will go through this a few more pages, but I'm wondering, do you want to see a little bit from Maddie's Rocket too?
Of course.
Nah, you don't want to see Maddie's Rocket book two? You sure?
Yeah. Yes, I
Okay,
want to.
all right. Let's go. Yeah, I'm messing with you here.
And then
So
the
we're
thing
gonna
is
go
that
now.
on the StreamYard, we can't see anything.
On the StreamYard, you can't see anything, and that is because
which is
I
fine, but I just wanted to call that out.
it's not fine. It's very bad. Let's go here. We're going to go here. We're going to remove that. So I'm going to stop sharing there. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop hiding that. And then we're going to go back to, let's stop the screen, right? And we're going to go back to share again. And this time we're going to see if we can share it again. Okay. And hopefully this will work, and we're going to share it. And I hope you guys can see it. Can you guys see something there?
We
Do you
see your
see?
screen. Oh yeah, now we see the Maddie
Okay, I'm sorry
Rocket.
about that, guys. Hey, this is our first time doing this. All right, all right. So anyway, let me also make sure I keep my Instagram camera steady here, which should be on the arm, but we'll take care of that. I see here. We're going to now go to Maddie Illos here, and I'm going to show you a few things from Maddie's Rocket 2. This is the new cover that I've done for Maddie's Rocket 2. If I can find it, there it is.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's Maddie is at this point. This is the sketch for it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then I went here, and this is Maddie's Rocket Book 2. So I'm actually working on Book 2 right now.
Nice.
And just to let you guys see, I know you guys can't see this on the StreamYard, but I wanted that woman to, my grandmother was she was a seamstress.
Mm.
That and but what is the strangest thing? She could sew and put things together in the computer. And what was fascinating about her was my godmother, A.V. Hughes, was always dressed to the nine. Well, what I didn't realize till much later, it was my grandmother making her clothes.
Mm.
Yeah, so I don't know if anyone remembers those patterns that used to come with, they're like pre-packaged templates.
Yep.
That was how I learned how to draw. Part of how I learned.
Oh, like tracing
Yeah,
the sewing patterns. Oh,
seeing
that's
that through comic books, Marvel, DC, and seeing that, meaning, because that's the thing about those fashion patterns. It was a different drawing style than that. And also, just I'll go into Instagram here. I wanted you to see all those characters there. Whoops. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to do that. See all those characters?
yes.
I wanted you to feel like, okay, this is in the kind of a retro past. See that couple? They just got married.
I see.
And then you got the kids running in the street. Then you got Maddie here. And then you got that car. But if you go up to the L, you see that? And you see these people having fun here flying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Maddie's Rocket is. It's fun. It's aspirational. Still got, people acting stupid because there's still racism in the Jim Crow past, but I wanted it to be aspirational, and I wanted my dad's 87, my mom's 83. Well, she's 38. I didn't mean to say 83,
Right. Don't be telling her age.
yeah, I'm sorry. So my mom's 38 years old, but I wanted to do something that they didn't see when they were born in the 30s and raised in the 30s and 40s. That's what I wanted. And it has been an absolute joy to do this. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, yeah. And let's see, is there anything else I can show here? Hold on. Let me do a search here. Let me see if I can find this for you guys here. I'm going to let everybody in on it.
I'm excited. What you gonna let us in on?
I'm going to show you. Let's go here. Let's go enter in. Oh, no, wait. Let's go back here to documents. There we go. Let's try it. See if we can find it. Nope, we can't find it. Let's go up here. It's something you guys will know once I find it. Let's go here. Maybe
I
it's
think
not
I know
here.
what it is, but we'll
What
see.
is what? Let's see. It's something that I am going to reveal today. The image for it that many people have not seen. Let me see if I can find it. These are all images from Infinitum.
Mhm.
But the one thing, let's see if I can find it. Doggone thing. Let's go here. I don't know if it's here. Let's see what's going to happen. We're gonna go here, Infinitum full. We're gonna see if we can find it. If I can find it. By the way, I went through like a bazillion covers for Infinitum. I was so many covers, it was absolutely ridiculous at the end.
Really? Like I
Yeah.
can't imagine a different covers. So now I'm like, what were the cover variants?
Yeah, it's a lot of interesting things. Like as you guys can see here, this will be interesting to show because I've never really shown this stuff here. So you see that? That's a
Mm,
sketch from Infinitum, right?
yes.
And that turned into one of the painted images. But this is where I did my concept design for the aliens. And they have blue blood, that type of
Oh,
thing. Yeah. So this is how I do it. So all the covers, these are like cover samples.
oh, I definitely like the
Eventually,
blue that actually, yeah.
yep. Eventually, everything became like this. So this is the new cover for Infinitum, which hopefully, oh yeah, I guess I'll go through some of the cover because that's right. You guys have never seen this stuff. This got to be weird. See that?
I see that. Yeah.
Right. And then it changed color. This was a version.
Ah, okay,
Right.
okay.
And then yeah. So I did.
Oh, that would have been
I had done.
fascinating.
Yeah, I had done so many covers for this thing. It was ridiculous. Uh, and some of them were a little bit too superhero-y, right?
Mm,
But you notice how they change. It changes,
yes.
because I was playing around with different things. This was one
Oh,
that would
this
have been
is a
interesting.
cool one.
Yeah, it's just I didn't know what was going to go over well, and this was when I started getting into the quad variant, which is the
Yes.
one that it
Oh,
ended
these
up
are
now.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so this was a lot of fun. It was going to be a 3D logo on it.
Oh, that would have
Yeah,
been fascinating.
yeah, and it was going to be yellow and all that type of stuff. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you for letting me show this stuff. I've never been able
Boy,
to
so
show
this,
anybody this
okay,
stuff.
I like that one. Go back to that one.
Okay, there you go, right there.
That would have been a fun one.
It would have been fun, but
Oh,
we
it's
went through
similar.
a
It's
bunch of
similar.
them.
It takes a lot of the elements that actually made it.
Right. So there we go. So as you can see here, that was the last, but then it keeps going. It keeps going. And these are all how my sketches turned out for Infinitum. They would go here, and then I would end up doing a fully painted variant. So in fact, Infinitum would be like this. I'll go, let's say
Oh,
here.
wow.
It would go from here to there, and then it would tighten up, and then it would have tone and variant values, and then it would have color, and then I would add highlights, and then composite it with the background. So that's how I did it.
Wow.
Yeah, Infinitum was really, really involved. But I know I'm kind of like blowing time here. I was going to show you guys something, and if I can find it here as I scroll down. I know a lot of people. Oh, thank you very much, Dwight. I appreciate it, man. How you doing? How's it going over there in Atlanta, brother? How's it going, my brother? Anyway, but yeah, where is this thing here? I want to show this to you because I promise you an exclusive, right?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
promise you an exclusive.
all the
Wait,
covers are super cool. I'm hoping it will be images from Infinitum 2.
yes. If I could just find it. I can't believe I can't find it. Where is it? Here it is. Y'all ready?
We're ready.
This is the sequel.
Wow.
It's called Detritus.
Detritus.
Yes.
I'm here for it.
It's called Detritus. And the main character, for anyone who's read Infinitum, is who, Isis?
Yes, it's the woman who puts the curse on him.
It is Obenrin because she is also immortal. And I have started on it. I'm taking my time because I want to make sure the story is right. But I am now formally announcing Detritus to the world on
Yay! We
Sistah
get to see it first. I'm excited.
Scifi. Yeah,
So,
yeah. So
why?
yeah.
And
Go
this
ahead.
could be just why detritus? Because also we have that
Oh, okay. See,
question.
now I wasn't expecting you to ask that question. Oh, all right. So I'll leave it up while I answer. It's because detritus is the flotsam, the left behind, the debris, right? In detritus, first of all, it's a very spacey name, detritus, right? And of course, like a lot of people pronounce infinitum infinitum because that's the way to do it. But for me, because I'm down south, I won't mispronounce it, so I call it infinitum, right? Because it has that I in there, infinitum. But detritus is called detritus in Afrofuturist tale. That is what it's called. And this was the first image I did. And very soon I will be starting on the layout process. You remember the black and white drawings I showed you guys earlier? That'll be what I will show. So I wanted to formally, it's like I talked about Maddie the other day with Yatasha, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk with Isis today, but I want something that no one else has seen.
Thank you. I so appreciate getting like our first look at detritus. Also, thank you for like the alternate pronunciations of infinitum. Infinitum.
You can call it infinitum. Why you what's wrong?
I would pronounce it. And also because I didn't know if it was just me because I'm dyslexic, so I tend to
you good, girl. You good.
Alternate pronunciations to words, and I was like, maybe this is just me. So I just felt like a whole sense of grounding right then.
You're good. You're good. All right, now I'm gonna switch back here. I'm sorry.
I'm excited about detritus. I'm excited to learn more about her character and what she was doing.
Okay, so first of all, I can't go that deeply into it.
No, you don't have to. I'm excited.
Wait. Okay. I'm not gonna leave you hanging. I'm not gonna do this. I can do this, right? So the way it works is this. First of all, the story is not totally written yet because, and I'll explain to you why. Because when you're working as a graphic novelist, you're working in both words and pictures, right? But like in Pixar, when they would do their films, they would do all of their breakdowns. What I call breakdowns of sketches. In comics, they do them on pages. But in animation, what they do is they do what's called a storyboard. And that storyboard is pinned to the wall. Or, if they're smart, they'll just do it on the computer or whatever. So when you're mapping out your story, you have what's written. And then you draw it. But then when you read back on it, you see other dramatic opportunities.
Got it.
Right? So that is what I want to do. But I will say one scene that I want to do that is in my head, and I'm going to tell you what it is. So can't tell you the time, but I will say there comes a point where Obenrin, which she probably won't be called that by that name, because over time it changed.
All right, okay.
She is in a kind of a commune with these other women, right? But it's futuristic, so they use construction equipment building their temple. But it's in a colony. It's in the future, and because it's kind of lawless, there are bands of men who are roaming around, basically abusing, raping and pillaging. Until they walk up on Obenrin's crew. And when they come to this planet, I can see it in my head. These sisters, all women, all different colors, but most of them sisters, they just massacre these dudes. But they're doing it in their own way. And I want it to be like these women who are in these like construction gear with these like hydraulics, right? But they're like, the temple is behind them. So they're defending the temple, right? And these guys are coming up with these guns, but these women are like ripping through these guys. But the one, because like John had this power, because the longer he lived, the more powerful he became.
Right.
So the same thing happens with Obenrin. But I wanted to be like Kurosawa. So this woman's come, she doesn't have swords. She has these kind of metal rods. She's just like, wow, she's just wailing on them, right? Anyway, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And I want it to be big, that people can see this epic turn where she becomes more than this tragic figure. She becomes just like the savior, but not a heroic savior that has to reach deep down, but I call it like a bull woman. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. And I can see it in my head, so I got to draw that out now. I gotta draw that out. But anyway, that's as much as I can say about detritus. I can't speak anymore. No comment. No comment. Thank you so much. Thank you.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited about the chartist. I'm excited to read more about Ben Ray. Because yeah, when like she popped up at the end, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, this is cool. Um, I will the format be like the same
Yes.
shape
Yes.
as Infinitum?
Yes. It'll be the same size because I want the books to have continuity.
Yes.
It's going to take a little while to get to it. I'll be honest. It's going to take a little while to get to it because I'm presently working on Maddie's Rocket book 2 and book 3 simultaneously.
Okay.
And I have another book, a middle grade book I'm doing called Brother Robo.
Brother Robo.
If you can take giant robots and black boy joy and black girl joy, right, and put some giant robots in there, it's called Brother Robo. It's time for me to do my middle grade book. Yeah, Jerry, I'm working on my Jerry Craft. I'm working on my middle grade book. Okay, Jamar Nicholas, I'm gonna expect a Dutton after that, man. You know, anyway. But yeah, those are my good friends, and they really inspire me. And Infinitum's kind of violent, you know. And I'm gonna do something. You know, maybe some middle grade kids will get into it. So yes, that's what's going on.
I love it. And then introducing them to STEM with the robots and all that kind of stuff. I'm here
exactly. But that's what's going to happen with Maddie. That's what's going to happen with Maddie. I would say this. I don't know when or how I'm going to do it, but what I want to do, this is going to sound crazy, but I'm putting it out there because sometimes I find it's helpful to put things out. 2 things into the universe. I hope you don't mind me saying this.
Oh, no. Go ahead. Put it into the universe.
Similar to what you've done with me, you've allowed me to come on this show, talk about my work, show, hey, you can go to harpercollins.com or go to sistahscifi.com to buy Infinitum. And very soon, you know, you'll be able to buy Maddie's Rocket off of Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, because it's all going through the distribution channels now, right? But I love touring and talking to kids and adults. In fact, this Friday, I'm going to be presenting this work to the Dallas Independent School District, Dallas, Texas.
Yay.
Right? Yeah. And I want to be able to share and talk about my work because it's fun. And let's see how much time we got. We got 3 minutes. So let me see if I can draw you here. You know, I'm going to start drawing you right quick. I know she's like, what is it? Oh, no. I thought I was going to get away with that.
I was like, oh, Tim forgot.
No, I didn't forget. No, I didn't forget. So, you know, I'm going to say this here. So while you are doing this, while I am doing this, now what I need you to do is I need you to start talking about what Sistah Sci-Fi is. Go for it.
Oh, one, I'm happy for everybody that's here and a part of this conversation, talking with Tim Fielder, Maddie's Rocket, Infinitum, Detritus, which is the second book, and Infinitum. Sistah Sci-Fi is the first Black-owned bookstore focused on science fiction and fantasy. That's been validated by the ABA, in case you're wondering. We started February 2nd, 2019. We sometimes do in-person events, but we're primarily online. In 2022, we're imagining ourselves as being a social media bookstore, which means we do sell books, but we're really focused on building community around the themes of the books and the futures that the authors are writing about, and how we as people of color, primarily Black people and Native American and Indigenous people, feel empowered to create the future of our dreams, where we're leaders, where we can access our full imagination, where we can feel free, where we can let go of some historical shame and trauma and really create better and healing spaces for all of us. So that is Sistah Sci-Fi. We love to do virtual events, Instagram Live, Sistah Sci-Fi graphic novel clubs that we do with Erica Hardison, book clubs, book launches, all those things. Thank you, Dwight. I'm glad that sounds excellent. Somebody asked me earlier today what would be my dream event. If anybody from the Afropunk team is listening, my dream event would be to do like a cosplay ball, which would be like RuPaul's Drag Race meets a Comic-Con with Afropunk Oakland. So if anybody knows anybody with Afropunk and wants to help me make that happen, I'd appreciate you. So that is what I'm putting in to the universe, and it's exactly 6 o'clock.
Okay, hold on. I need because it's our show and we're not stuck to a schedule. You're gonna give me 2 minutes. See how she trying? You see. I started trying to draw her, and she's now trying to rush me. Just give me a second. I'm almost done. She's like, Tim, we don't need to show that. No, come on. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. And she moving. She knows she's making it difficult for me to finish the drawing. See this. Oh man, she's been working out.
My bad.
She go here.
So while we give the
excuse me. Where is Sistah Sci-Fi located? Online location, URL. You want to give us that information?
Oh, you're right. So Sistah Sci-Fi online is Sistah Sci-Fi. That's sister with a AH, SISTAH, sci-fi, SCIFI.com. We're also Sistah Sci-Fi on all the things. So on Instagram, because you're here, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Pinterest. And it got kind of funky with TikTok, but we'll be there soon. And those are all the things that we're at. Technically, physically, we're located in Oakland, California, but I like to say that we exist in cyberspace and in your imagination. So wherever you dream, we're at, kind of like Freddy Krueger. That's a terrible comparison. And also, we're happy to pop up wherever Black people and people of color gather and creating a healing space. So all of that, within the bounds of COVID constraints. So that's where we're located.
Okay.
Oh, yes. And thank you, Bree. That's why you're here. And we will be eventing at Black Joy Parade in Oakland, California all day, rain or shine, warm or cold. We'll have some great books. And we'll be partnered up with The Collective, which is another Black-owned bookstore here in Oakland. We will have we love focusing on Tim, but we'll have Yadasa Williams there. She will be signing copies of The Goddess Twins. If you have not met Yadasa Williams is so much fun. And if nothing else, she had me at the purple hair. The book is great and you got purple hair. So it's a win-win. So yes, we will be at Black Joy Parade in Oakland this Sunday.
Wow. That sounds like fun. Now, here's something I need to ask you. Yes. Why did you start Sistah Sci-Fi?
Yeah, that's people love asking me, and I love that question. So I actually started Sistah Sci-Fi because I read Lilith's Brood and was talking about it with a friend. And then when we're done talking about it, Lilith's Brood by Octavia Butler, also known as the Genogenesis series. And when we're done talking about it, she's like, I'm sure you're reading Tomi Adeyemi and Nnedi Okorafor. And I was like, no. I hadn't really heard of them. And so I felt some kind of way. I felt like I missed two memos. One, they're Black women writing in science fiction and fantasy. And two, they're both West African. So I was like, how did I miss both these memos? So at first I was trying to get my friends to read the book so I could discuss it with them. But then I was like, it might be easier to become friends with people who read the books. So Sistah Sci-Fi actually started as a book club and then emerged and grew up to be an online bookstore, and I like it. It's fun.
That is dope.
Yeah.
All right. So I need about 1 minute.
Okay.
Maybe 2.
1 minute.
And I will be finished. I know she's nervous. Like, hurry up, Tim.
No, I'm not. I am a little nervous, but for people in the chat, I know where some of y'all are at. I know, Erica, you're in New York. Bree, I know you're here in the Bay with me. Where are people watching from in the world? And worlds be defined however you would like to define it. And I know it usually takes people a bit of time to navigate to their cursor and start typing in. So as I said earlier, I'm in Oakland, California. Ironically enough, Sistah Sci-Fi started in Seattle. So I see Vegas, Vegas, Austin, Texas. I don't think I've ever seen anybody from Austin, Texas. So congrats. Philly, I see Colorado. I don't know if that's Denver. I see ATL. I feel like there'd be a lot of ATL folks there. If I wasn't in Oakland, I'd probably be in ATL. But
I can see you in ATL. I can definitely see you there.
Yeah. Yay. Oh, yeah. So, hey, Regina Renee. Yes, I know exactly where in Colorado you're at. Good to see you.
Okay, cool. Almost done. We just because it's going to be really quick because
okay.
Isis was putting pressure on me. I could have been doing this with all this pressure, but she was like, if she told me, she was threatening me before, if this don't work, I'm gonna have your head. That's what she said, guys. That's what she said.
Exactly right. That sounds exactly.
She didn't say that. I'm just joking. All right, here we go. Now we got to put on that part there. Okay, and this is a very quick sketch because this is a more anime-esque version.
So,
Okay.
real Levy, I mispronounced it, says, I can't wait to see it. We love you, Tim.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, Bree, this is fun. And Bree, we need to talk about you coming into the Wind Down Wednesday. I haven't followed up on that. I got to get my whole life together. So yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. And as I close this drawing out, I'm going to say this. Isis, you provide a very powerful service, not just to women, but to everyone. And I think it is very telling and important what you do. And I would hope that you would continue to do it. It is my pleasure and my honor to have you here with me. But also we're making history, aren't we?
Yes, I like to.
Isn't it crazy? It's like we're making history. We're making history.
Ed says to tell Tim it's Ed from NYFA. Is that the New York Fine Arts?
No, I think it's Ed. This is the guy. Is this Ed Marshall? I can't see the screen because I'm drawing here. If that's Ed Marshall, you know the drawing I have where I'm jumping up in the air?
Yes.
This is the man who I almost landed on when I was jumping. I think it's Ed Marshall. Yeah, Ed Marshall. Okay. Yeah, he's I think that's Ed. I don't know. I'm not sure.
No,
okay, I am now.
Friend. It's Ed.
This is Evil Juggernog, who was a gamer on YouTube who was my student way back in the day. How's it going, Ed? Hey, Ed, you better stay out of trouble, man. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. All right. All right, here we go. We got to put that last Glenn on here. And guess what?
A vibe. So it's been fun. It's been a fun journey.
All right. Now, here we go. Now we're going to do a little smoothing here, not too much. And this is going to be a very quick drawing. Okay, there we go. All right. And we should probably save this drawing. What do you think?
Yes.
Let's save this drawing here. And I'm going to export. Oh, no, full length. And then we're going to save that because you know what I found out, guys? If you don't save your drawings, they would disappear into the ether. It's the strangest thing. All right. So with that, we have now gone 8 minutes over. And with this, we will commemorate this drawing.
I feel bad because I can't draw you.
It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. With the first my live stream, second live stream, I did one early last year when Infinitum was first released with Angelique Roche, and this time it's with you, so it's perfect. So here we go. We ready?
Ready.
All right. Can you see that?
Oh, I see the glasses. Oh, it's like coming up in real time. Wow, that's me. Oh,
it's been an absolute pleasure, dear. Absolute
that is
pleasure.
so cool, and you did that so fast.
Yes, and I was nervous, and you wasn't helping, Isis. You were making me so nervous. Why you do that? And Erica, she wasn't helping either. Help! Don't hurt. Help!
You were nervous.
Anyway, you guys are awesome. So I will send this drawing to you, and you do what you got to do. Of course, it's my pleasure. With that, I guess it's time to end this broadcast, correct?
Yeah, this was awesome. Thank you so much. I had so much fun.
I had fun too. Now, let's see if we can actually go out in the right way. Here we go. You ready?
I think so. So I'll say goodbye to Instagram first. Bye, everyone on Instagram. See y'all soon in cyberspace.
Bye, bye, bye.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now, here we go. Here's the test. They're going to see if we're going to have our closing credit. Here we go.